It's been 30 hours since I have left Cairo, but I'm proud to say, welcome to Sydney, Australia. Now I just have 24 hours to discover what there is to discover in this city. And the 4 challenges that I have. First challenge is to go to the major icon that makes up the city. Well, and as you can see, I'm right here, right now. Second, taste the food of that city, of that country. And I am going to do that, trust me, in about 1 hour, I will be there. Third, interact with the people. Find out what is it that makes Sydney such a unique place to be. And fourth, get lost. I find some of the best things happen when you completely get lost and not expect what's coming around the corner. But before we do that, let's rewind back to Cairo. This journey is part of the Turkish Airlines challenge to visit 6 continents in one trip. I'm sharing the culture, the moments, and the meaning along the way. Thanks for being here and watching.
The day has begun pretty much how I thought it would. How can I even explain what I've been through so far today? I got up at about 2 o'clock in the morning, got everything ready, thinking, you know what, I have plenty of time. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna enjoy a lounge. I'm gonna relax, no problem. So I get Uber here, not a big deal, no problem, both are decent. Get to the front counter. First of all, the line was very long in order to get through, not security, but even to check in. Finally get there, and the lady at the front counter says, "Excuse me, sir, you don't have a visa to get into Australia." I think, "Excuse me, what?" I said, "Yes, you don't have a visa to get in." I said, "Yeah, I do." Well, the problem is, have you ever heard the story, "My dog ate my homework"? Well, that's what happened to my passport. So I went through this whole ordeal of getting a new passport issued. The problem is that I forgot to go in and get a new application for my visa with the old passport in Australia. So here I am, finally through after multiple applications. Instead of the 72-hour normal time, it came through right away, praise Jesus. And now I'm able to, with 1 hour to spare, sit down in a lounge, have an Egyptian breakfast, which I've actually grown to love, and make my way to Istanbul, where I have a nice longer layover. Cross my fingers with no interference or no problems ahead. I will be in Australia after a very long flight. So I don't have a lot of time. I'm gonna finish eating, but the one thing I can promise is if the rest of the trip started like this is definitely gonna be one to watch. See you in the air. So I just landed, got in from Cairo, and a really nice flight in from Cairo. So now I'm in Istanbul. Need to figure out how do I get back into the terminal so I can find a lounge. I've got probably about 4 or 5 hours inside of whatever lounge I want to choose before the next flight. So let's go to the lounge. I will never get tired of saying it because it's always true, is that lounges absolutely make the travel experience worthwhile. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. The flight was great. It's time to get to a lounge. anticipated exactly how long this flight is, but it's a killer. The thing that sucks is realizing that after I've been there for pretty much less than 24 hours, I've got to turn around and do this whole thing again. I'm not looking forward to that.
After 17 hours of being in a plane, I have finally landed in Australia. Like touching down here, it seems surreal. Yeah, this is a place that I've been looking forward to go to for many years. And the fact that that place is just sitting right outside those doors right now, it's very exciting. All right, first thing we've got to do is let's go find the hotel and then let's go explore. This is a nice room. Holy cow. Isn't that the coolest thing in the world? I'm so bougie. I guess after you think about it for a few minutes, it isn't that cool, but still. You don't see that every day in a hotel. All right, so just like the last Intercontinental, I'll do a little bit of a room tour. There's really not much to it other than the really cool feature that is on there. Just really nice finishes. Bed is very comfortable. I have not seen the bathroom yet. So very nice. Almost exact same shower as the one in Cairo. And it looks like it's almost designed very similarly. Yeah, ooh, and there's my robe, baby. Holy cow, this one's stocked. And, oh. Yeah, I'm guessing none of this is actually complimentary, so we're just gonna let this shut right back. Okay, so that is a quick tour of the room. I wanna go out and see the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge lit up, because I'm not gonna have a chance to do that tomorrow. So let's go out, do that, maybe find a quick bite to eat, go grab a drink down at, looks like a really cool bar down here, and we have complimentary drink tickets. So let's go do that, and then we'll call it quits, because we have to get up in the morning for some adventure. So one of the goals that I have for every single city that I'm in is to get lost. So that's exactly what I'm going to do tonight. I'm just gonna go out and start walking, see what I can find, hopefully get some great pictures, and just really experience what it's like at night walking around Sydney. So supposedly the two coffees that Australia is known for, and I want to try both of them today, are flat whites and long blacks. Now, the flat whites is an espresso with steamed milk and kind of like a latte. And the long black is an espresso mixed with water. So that is the goal for this morning, and I know I'm going to be very caffeinated, and I need to be. It's been a long time since I've had coffee, so let's do this. So for coffee this morning, I have come down to the Rocks, and I found the best way so far, and from what I've asked, the best way to enjoy the Sydney culture is to just relax in it. And that's exactly how I'm starting the day. This area down here is very famous. This used to be the wharf area. This used to be where there was sailors and dock workers and everybody hang out. And now this is where pretty much a lot of the happening culture is down here. So no better way to start the day than to go to the Rocks Cafe for a croissant. Look at this thing. I mean, now that's a croissant, right? Ooh, could you hear that? Listen. So nice, with a flat white and just gonna relax, and I only have 24 hours here, but I am going to make this 24 hours last as long as I possibly can. Yeah, the day's starting good in Sydney. Time for some little relaxation, and then maybe we'll go see some sights. Now, sitting directly across the harbor is the steel giant. It is the Great Sydney Harbour Bridge. A lot of locals call this thing the Coathanger. Constructed in 1930 during the Great Depression, I mean, it really is a testimony of just modern marvel architecture. It is a testimony for Australian engineering, and really one of the biggest things to come and see when you come here. Now, if you want to spend the money and if you want some adventure, if you look closely, you can see people walking up the top of that bridge. Now, I'm only here for 24 hours, so we're not able to do that today, but if you do get here, that is definitely something to go on the bucket list. Standing between these two icons, you can't help but feel the weight of history, but also the excitement of just being in the middle of both of them. Rising out of the waters like a sail in the wind, the Sydney Opera House is more than just an opera house. It's a landmark. It's what Australia is. It's more than just architecture. It's an icon. Designed by Danish architect Göran Utzon in 1973, it took just over 14 years to build and has become a stage for some of the world's top performers. So every tile that you see, and there's over 1 million of them, catch the sunlight just a little bit differently. So every time you look at it, it's a little bit different than the last time.
The light is fading fast. From this old town we gotta go. Our bags are packed, so what we waiting for? There's no.
Well, we've accomplished seeing some of the icons of the city. Now it's time for food. We're gonna head over to Manly Beach, where I'm gonna have some fish and chips. But one of the cool things about going to Manly is you get to ride the Manly Ferry, which if you want to not have to spend a fortune on a cruise that goes up and down the water, take the ferry, you get some great pictures, and there's some good fish and chips waiting for you at the end. Let's get going.
Fall asleep to the sounds of the sea. With you right by my side, it's such a sweet life escape.
The boats appear to run every 15 minutes, so if you miss it, I wouldn't worry about it. I think it costs a grand total of $1 in order to ride. So really good deal, not only to see Sydney from the water, but also to get to a brand new place that is a completely different look than the city. Another huge awesome checkpoint for the coolness of Sydney.
Escape this time with me. Escape this time with me. Escape this time with me.
So as soon as you get off the boat, follow the beach crowd, and they're going to take you all the way to the other side to Manly Ocean Foods. That is where your adventure begins. It's funny, the one thing that comes to mind as I'm walking down here is this has such a huge Miami vibe. Like Key West meets Miami. number one. Yes, please. We have the food. Next objective, find a place on the beach to eat it. It's going to be the best fish and chips I've ever had. I can feel it already. Can you beat the view? I mean, even the sun, it's not really that hot. Oh my goodness. Look at that. So good looking. It's about 15 US dollars. And is exactly what I needed in order to experience Sydney right now. I am so hungry, and fish and chips, just like my mouth was watering. Throw that view in of getting to listen to the ocean crash up against the beach, just the excitement of the people for being here. It's just, it doesn't get any better, honestly. This is, I haven't even tasted it. I feel like it's gonna be the best fish and chips that I have ever eaten. Cheers. Oh wow. They say that calories don't count when you're traveling, and I'm about to test every ounce of that theory, not only here, but for the rest of this journey. Because this is some good food. Forks don't work. That's okay. I just came from Cairo, so I'm used to eating with my hands. I don't know if this counts with connecting with the locals, but I guarantee you the seagulls are definitely interested in striking up a conversation. It's bad. Do not hold a piece of food out here. So fish and chips in Australia, it's practically law around here. You know, and I'm just doing my part of fitting in as a local tourist by enjoying this meal. And you know what I say? Thank you, Sydney. I can't begin to explain how much that hit the spot. It was golden, it was flaky, it just was fantastic. And I've got a little bit of time before I have to head back onto the boat, and I might walk around and look at the beach, maybe touch some sand to my toes, and see what this side, the Manly area, has to do compared to Sydney. So let's, I think it's time for a good montage.
Lately your blue skies ain't coming, turning all the clouds gray. Baby, I can see a storm warning. I'm boarding all the windows up today. And the ghosts have been calling. You don't hear a word they say, so let me do all the talking. I'll keep your troubles at bay. 'Cause it's you and me till the end of the line. It's you and me, sparking like crossed wires. When I see you move through a certain light, I tend to lose my mind. It's you and me till they say last call. It's you and me, gonna risk it all. Hand on the wheel, right by your side. Hold on till the end of the line.
Just 24 hours, Sydney has given me more than I could have possibly imagined. The energy of the harbor, the taste of the fish and chips by the water and the beach, the stories from the people that I got to interact with. My fourth challenge really can't be summarized in one moment. It was 100 little ones. Little tiny conversations from ferry rides to every place that remind me of why I travel in the first place. This journey is not just about the miles in the airports, it's stepping to the unknown. And it's the tiny little changes that it makes and the reason why I enjoy traveling. It's the way that it changes you at every stop. Do you know what I mean? And tomorrow, I am glad to say that this journey is going to continue. To where it's going, I'm not going to let you know. But the one thing that I am glad is that you're going to come with me. I'll see you tomorrow.
Lady with you while the night is still, proves you haven't lost your will. Soon the road will be clear, the days only go up from here.